Jason Hardy, head coach of the Shelbyville Golden Eagles, joins us now. Coach, as always, it's great to speak with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Kids are excited, the community's excited, so glad to talk about them.
Coach, you got that Lawrence County team coming in. Obviously, you guys are playing for your first District 8 title ever. Is there any butterflies for you or the kids?
Well, we tried to approach it just as any other game. I mean, that's kind of when our motto, about 5 weeks or 4 weeks ago, we sat down. We had 5 district games left, and talked about taking them each one at a time and marking them off the list. And we've kind of done that each week, and now we've got one more on that list, and we're kind of trying to treat it just like we did the others, and hopefully have the same type of result.
Coach, I've followed the progress of this team all season. We covered your Tullahoma game back, early in the season, I think week 1, and of course you had that tough loss. And the next game we covered was the Lincoln County game, and it didn't even look like the same bunch of kids. They took command of that game, and from the opening whistle, and they really never took their foot off the throttle in the whole game. What was the big factor that made such a turnaround this year?
I think there's a lot of factors that went into it, and one of them was just early on, very, very young, inexperienced team, and we've got a lot of sophomores, and not just the sophomores, but a majority of our juniors and seniors that are on the field this year didn't get a lot of playing time over the last couple of years, so had to work some things out, and as any team you have, as the season goes, you make changes, and we made a few changes around mid-season, and it's really paid off for us, and then here in this last part, I think the kids have really bought into the coaching staff, so been a good ride here the last few weeks, and hopefully we'll keep it up.
Well, Coach, I know the last time I spoke with you, you mentioned some of those changes primarily on the defensive line. You said you were trying to get a lot more athletic up front. I think the 4 games since that Giles County game, I think you're giving up 6 points a game. Is that line change, is that probably the biggest contributing factor to the turnaround on defense?
Well, definitely. I mean, it always starts with the line, whether it's offensive line or defensive line, and we're going into every game where we're smaller than everybody. So if we're going to be smaller than everybody, we felt like we better be more athletic. And we took a couple kids in Malik Tronger and Dallas Castman, who are probably linebackers for most teams, and they're playing defensive end spots. And then we got a couple other kids in Trevor Tribe who didn't get to play early on in the season, even against Tullahoma and those guys. So he's coming back. He's really helped us with his athleticism and Demise Ransom. But those guys have done a good job up front, and, we made a couple of moves in the secondary. Jalen Thompson's come in and started. He's done a really good job. And that was one of our problems early on, was giving up some big plays, especially against Tullahoma and Giles County. Just really, really gave up some big plays. And so those moves have all helped us, and obviously it's paid off on Friday night.
We're speaking with Coach Jason Hardy, head coach of Shelbyville Golden Eagles. Coach, Mason Cunningham, he's really developing into what I would consider a great quarterback. It seems to me like every start he gets under his belt, he just matures that much more. Do you think he's got the tools to potentially play at the next level?
I do. I really do. We knew coming in last year as a freshman, he wasn't your normal freshman, and we knew he was going to have the physical tools to be successful at the high school level and then hopefully on into the next level. But with his maturity and his work ethic, you couple that with the other things I just mentioned, and he's definitely going to be that type of player that can play at the next level. Already had some coaches come down and watch a couple of other kids that are seniors, and they've made some very positive comments about him, and that's just really good when you're getting a little bit of notice as a sophomore.
Well, you just led right into my next question. I know he's only a sophomore, and I was wondering if anybody had actually contacted you in regard to Mason yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's several colleges, and he'll keep working, and hopefully there'll be several more. And as the videotape gets out there, in today's age, it's a lot easier to get the tape out. And his success on field, coupled with when he gets to some of these camps, I think there are going to be a lot of people after him.
I'm impressed that he's overcome the fact that he's Kevin Cunningham's son. That's really impressive right there.
His mother helps him out there, I guess.
He's got his mom's athletic ability, didn't he? Coach, another kid, Michael Eddings, he's really impressed me when I watched him against Lincoln County. He's a nice change of pace from Castman being more of a bruiser type runner. the combination of those guys in the backfield, along with Mason's ability to throw the ball downfield, really makes you guys pretty balanced on offense. Is there any part of that offense that you feel you probably need to make some improvements in headed into the postseason?
Well, we've been clicking really well, but obviously there's always improvements, and we feel like that we should end every drive in a score, and I think we've only punted 3 times in the last 4 games, and that's a great thing. As long as those aren't turnovers, that's a great thing. But we're still wanting to improve. I think that we still got some more explosive plays in us. We threw the ball downfield a few times last week, and just barely missed on some plays. But we've had some early in the season where some big explosive plays, and we got a kid like the Trail Carpenter and Tyler Eddings out there on the edge, and you talked about the other 3, but a big tight end and Malik Tronter. But we've got big athletic wide receivers, and we feel like we need to be getting the ball down the field even more than what we're doing right now.
Coach, you really hadn't had a close game. I mean, it's either been a lopsided one way or the other, with the obvious exception being the Tullahoma game, that 3-point loss. Does that cause any concern, on your part heading into the postseason where inevitably at some point in time you're going to get into that close game? Is that a concern that your kids, may not know exactly how to respond to that, if they, get their backs against the wall?
Well, as a coach, you never know what you're going to respond to in that situation. It doesn't bother me as much, and this is the reason why, is because it seems like going back to even Lincoln County, but often in the last few weeks we've had some adversity. And I know it's early, but the way our kids have responded to that adversity, whether it be a fumble on the punt in the first possession, or we had a penalty at Columbia that kind of gave a first down to them. But those are the type of things that I've been really pleased with my kids. When something went, we haven't turned the other cheek. We really kept on playing hard. And, I know that's different in the fourth quarter, but I really like what I see. And I guess if we have a tough one, we'll just have to find out. But I feel pretty confident in my guys.
Well, Coach, obviously Saturday the playoffs will be revealed. The playoff matchups will be revealed. Have you guys had a chance to kind of look ahead just a little bit, kind of take a peek at what possibilities are for the Eagles?
I really haven't much. I've had several people tell me this and tell me that, but I hate to tell the kids and trying to buy into the fact of not overlooking anybody and taking it 1 week at a time, and then here I am doing that. So I really concentrate on the game ahead. I do know that it's always a wild card, always a crapshoot when you get in these playoffs these days. The last few times we've been in, we've sat there thinking one thing, and then we've traveled to Knoxville and Chattanooga. So
right.
Just going to wait till Saturday and see where everything falls.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you what I think, since I know you don't need to be looking ahead, and you're right not to do that. I've actually got you guys, as it stands right now, obviously this given that you take care of Lawrence County, which we want to do that, Coach. I'm rooting for you here. I've got you guys as a 1 seed in Quad 3, and I've got Tullahoma coming to town in the first round, so that'd be a heck of a matchup if that was to work out.
That'd be a very interesting matchup. Like I said, without overlook, but that would be definitely be an intriguing matchup after earlier in the season.
Well, I know me personally, when I coached, and I never coached at the level you're at, obviously, but I always wanted a shot to get that team that got me. So, if it works out, maybe you'll get another shot at Tullahoma here in the postseason.
It's funny how things work out sometimes. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
There you go. Well, Coach, I don't want to hold you up too much, buddy. I appreciate you joining us, and good luck to you Friday, and we're rooting for you guys to get that district championship. I know that the kids have worked so hard to get.
I sure do appreciate it.